Okay, so today we'll be walking you through on car maintenance culture that if you own a car, you need to know or you need to imbibe. So the two most important things here is your transmission fluid and your engine oil. So depending on, especially for the engine oil, depending on what brand of oil, if it's a synthetic, it lasts you up to about 6 months per every change. So for especially Toyota Corollas, year 2014 upwards, now, first things first, if you've done your change before and you just feel that, okay, you're having a feeling that this oil is due, even though it's not yet up to the 6th month, due to your driving culture, either you're a frequent mover. So these are the things you need to do. Pop your engine bay open, and this is the dipstick. Use the dipstick to check first how dirty or clean or clear the oil looks. Of course, this looks quite, used or dirty per se for the, for my observation. So having known that, the second thing you'd have to do is you'd have to change the oil, obviously. But before then, make sure you check your exact oil that you'll be purchasing. So for me, that's the SAEOW-20. So do not, under any circumstances, buy any oil recommended by anybody. Be sure you look at that number and go and buy exactly the oil that bears that number. That number represents the viscosity of the oil required by your engine. Of course, different engines require different oil, and the number or the manufacturer places that number there for your notice so that you don't make the mistakes of using the wrong oil. So knowing the oil that we need to change, let's hop into the car and go shop for the oil as well as this transmission fluid. All right, so come with me. So I'm heading to where I'll purchase the engine oil for the oil change. Okay, so I just arrived where I'm gonna buy the oil. Mama, money. I beg, I need engine oil for Toyota Corolla. Huh? No, engine oil. Synthetic, that's 50, abi?
5W20.
Yeah,
0W20.
yeah.
For Corolla, which year?
2015.
0W20. Which one will the one or which?
Might be one.
30,000.
Bring her. For which size?
5 liters.
Mama, I want use POS. It's 5 liters. So this is Mobi 1 OW20 recommended for Toyota Corolla 2015. All right, man. Okay, so I got the heading back to the mechanic. Okay, guys. So let me walk you through on how this transmission fluid process goes. First things first, you need to take off the rubber that covers this part of the car, or first things first, you pull out your tire, get to the rubber that covers this part of the car tire, the driver's side, and look exactly to this bolt. This is like the inlet bolt for the transmission fluid, and there is a number or there's a letter always written there. Let me see if I can get a very close shot. Okay, that is FE. So meaning that my transmission fluid is an FE CVT fluid, so which I have bought already, and let me show you what that looks like. Yeah, this is the Toyota CVT fluid FE. It's very important that you get the exact number or the description of which one applies to your car. Do not forget, get the exact one that applies to your car. And next thing is to drain the entire fluid, which you can get under the bottom plate. You have to unbolt everything under there to take out the bottom plate and drain out the entire fluid. So there's always a fluid discharge bolt under. Afterwards, you do all of that. And this is Basi doing his thing and getting that done. Okay, so I've been made to understand that I need to change also my transmission fluid filter, and which in Naira cost about 17,000 Naira. So it's just a precautionary measure, because for me, I always think the fact that if you're changing your oil, that's your engine oil, you'd also change the filter. So if you're changing your transmission fluid, it's just logical that you change the filter, because of course over time dirt, debris, and just a whole lot of things must have clogged, reducing the ability for it to do its job properly, which is filtering the oil. Or the more clogged it is, the lesser the oil flow in between the filter into whatever compartment that needs that oil to be, serviced or reached. So yes, it's just the right thing to do. So I'll just show you that in a couple of seconds. So this is the replacement. Of course, you can see the filter in there is it looks funny. And you can see the new one, what it looks like, quite very. Okay. So before the bottom plate is fixed back, glue is put on so the glue is put on around the edges of the bottom plate, just to help seal from leakage and, just any part that is prone to the oil leaking out. So that's the glue. Yeah. Any glue would work, but it just has to be, a car grade kind of glue. All right, so this is module 1, and we're filling up the new oil right now. So you can see how clear the oil is compared to this. See how dark it is, and see how clear that is. Yes. Okay, so that's a 5 liter, and my car takes about 4 liter and some fraction, not directly 5. All right, so how is it? Okay, yeah. Come on, an attack, buddy. Okay, we're gauge can. So note, this is the SAE 0W20. Exactly the same thing on the cover here, SAE 0W20. So, right about now, he's about to fill up the fluid in the transmission section, and we've been able to take out the what's it called, the bolt that leads into that. Right, and that's the transmission fluid. And also, this is more like a makeshift. We don't have a direct pump to this, so that's actually where it goes to. And yeah, okay, so coil, you can see the color, and it goes all the way Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So this is more like a manual way to fill up the transmission fluid. All right. After filling up the transmission fluid, next is to couple back that compartment. Like you can see, is no more exposed. So just note that before you get access into the transmission fluid supply area, you have to take out your driver side tire as well as the cover, the mud guard cover to that end. Yeah. So right after the tires are about to be put in there, and we'll be ready before you know it. But just know that this process, before you engage in this process, your car must have been parked for maybe about 30 minutes just for it to cool a bit and not everywhere just very hot. I don't think it's just right. So just be sure that wherever your mechanic is, he must have parked the car there for about 30 minutes before you begin this process. So once you're done with the oil change, the next thing you're required to do is to reset your maintenance count. So to do that, turn on your key and make sure you tap the display button. If it's a Corolla 2015, tap the display button until you have trip A. All right. So once you've done that, the next thing is power down the car and press and hold the display button. So press and hold it down and turn your key on. Now you have that blinking. Keep holding it until it counts up to 0 and gives you a 000 mark, and that means you've reset your entire car reset maintenance to start counting from this new oil change. So you just keep track of how many miles you need to drive and all of that. So yeah, that's just a quick run through of how to, you know, get your car oil changes from the fluid to the engine oil and reset your maintenance counts. And yeah, drive safe, take care of your car so that your car can take care of you. See you in the next video.